Hello guys, one more quick video. So let's say the first use case was around sourcing of information and the checks around availability of do we have enough data elements to support the end state, support the straw man that these guys are looking for, regardless if it is EPM, ERP, or BI engagement. This is we can apply the same rules and same logic. Now let's go to data quality. Now this time the only thing that we're adding is the availability of some standards or some quality rules against which we will test out the transactional data. So here we start with uploading standards, right? So standards could be customer. Let's say what's in the customer. This is the customer names. Let's say invoice stat, location, products, sold by. Let's take a look at sold by. There's some sold by information that we have. There's some tracking numbers, whatever that may be, right? So we have all these. Customer name, invoice stat, location, product description small. So we have all of these. We can easily load anything from our machine. If we are reloading something, that it will basically prompt you that this thing already exists, and we're going to basically update the existing standard that's here. Update the existing standard without losing what's been done already. Transaction files are just like if I kind of show you a transaction file. This is a slightly big one, but let's see. So this is your transaction file, large number of transactions, lots of different columns, lots of basically different numeric values. Now here we will go in and take the transaction file, and we will assign specific quality rules to specific columns. So let's say I want to check customer. I will pick customer from the transaction file. I will pick a rule, so let's just say max length, and I will basically enter the value. I can do min length, I can do type. Let's say if I do type, then it basically gives me what the type should be. List of values. If I do list of value check, then it's gonna basically tell me these are all the standards that I have available. I can go to format check. This is your regular expression. I can add more stuff. It's not that complicated. Min number, max number. This is more numeric stuff. Pivot, if I need to pivot the data. Why? Just because that's what we created. Dependency could be, if we have a customer, then we should absolutely have an invoice stat location. So basic stuff. If I basically add a rule, then you guys could see that the top rule that I just created is data, customer, dependency, invoice stat location. I can delete this rule if I choose to. Once all this stuff is done, I have the ability to basically easily see what rules I have built, right? It's simple stuff. I can basically filter on data file, I can filter on rules, LOV rules, I can filter on sold by, I mean anything and everything that we can do easily to see what rules have been built. This is where we would trigger creating report. This is where we would basically trigger run the engine and create the data set. The data set has been tremendously simplified. It doesn't have that level of detail anymore, because it was taxing the Azure environment too much. So I had to take away a lot of the coding to make it simple. This is your dashboard. So let's say if I come in here, I have the ability to run the data by region, I have the ability to run the data by source, I have the ability to run the data by CDE and or date. Region, I missed explaining to you what the region is. Region is tied to a data source. We forced a relationship with a region for every every data file that we will upload. So if I go to data file, you will see that it's attached to a region. Why? That's how we did it at GM. I don't have a different point of view, but that's how we have designed it. So this one, I ran the report sold by. I click on refresh, and this basically gives me the percentages. The weighted and the unweighted is, the weighted tells me Mosaic has issues with the shoe size 5 and how many transactions contain the shoe size 5. So it just basically weights it for you. So let's say shoe size 5 is 99% of the transaction, then it's going to basically give you a weighted average of what the issue is, how drastically big that issue is from a weight perspective. So that's how we basically came up with the calculation. I have all the logic behind it. We should be able to kind of, I can provide that. Min length, max length, numbers, we didn't check the numbers. Format, if there's any issues with format, it now checks every record to see if it matches with the format. Type, it checks every record to see if it matches with the type. Dependency, as you guys could see, this is the list of value. This matches every single record by every single standard that you have. Pivot data, it just pivots the data. That's all. It just gives us the numbers. We should be able to export the data as well, and this basically gives us a summary number, but this also gives us a detail as well, if need be. All right, that's the use case, which is the second use case where we source the data, match the requirement, but this time we actually also test out the quality of data as well.